Look at this olive loaf. It's not completely cooled down, but we're going to have to come in here, aren't we? Let's just take that end off there. Oh, looky in there. Looky in there. That is a fantastic olive loaf made rare. Hi everyone, welcome to Backyard Chef. I'm Rick. Today we're doing a really high-class olive bologna. Now, if I've pronounced it wrong, so be it, as long as we cook it okay. It's a high-class version. This we're using more spices than you would normally see in a cheap version. We're making a really high-class deli version of an olive loaf. So we're making an olive loaf bologna style, and basically our olive loaf is going to be stuffed with pimento olives. Fantastic. And I'm going to use the stand mixer today because I'm just bone idle. That is beef. Chuck our beef in there, and that is pork. And I'm just going to give that a little mix up by hand first in this bowl. Just bring it in together. Okay, let's get rid of this glove. Now, our spices for this, they're all listed in the ingredients as per usual. We've got quite an array of spices there. We're going to chuck them all in there. We're going to give them a mix. And we got pink curing salt. Now there's a full recipe description or full recipes list in the description. And for all those who need it verbally, pink cure 2.5 grams per kilogram of meat. So that's our cure. We're going to chuck that on our meat. We're going to stick this on there. Now, like I say, you could do this all by hand, not a problem. But I'm going to mix this first bit so it's fully incorporated using the paddle attachment on the mixer. And then we're going to blend some of the meat as well. So we're going to have that fine texture, but I want a bit of coarse as well. So on it goes, nice and steady. Just give that a mix in. So I'm just going to add just a little bit of water. And we're going to keep adding the water till we've used it up. Okay, that's had a little minute in there, look, that saved me a job by hand. Okay, that's our meat in there, and we're going to give it a bit of a blend. We're going to take it one step further. Now, I'm going to take this the extra step, which, you know, you probably wouldn't need to do. This meat mixture would be okay. So it's an extra bowl, but it doesn't matter. I like the extra step. And what we're going to do is we're going to chop it up. I've got one of these bladey things here, look. And we're going to put this meat mixture in there, and we're going to give it a bit of a mix in. Just give it a bit of a chop in. And then we're going to chuck it in that other bowl. So that's going on there. That will do. You can go as fine as you like. I'm not going to go too fine. I like a little bit of texture in mine. That'll do. Back in with your blades. And get some more meat in there. Now, like I say, this is an optional step, but, you know, we want it nice and fine, really. So that's our lovely mixed up mixture. Okay, there's our lovely meat mixture. Now I've got this 2-pound loaf tin, and that's what we're going to use. We need to grease it out. Now I'm just going to use a bit of oil. There you go. And we're just going to rub that up the sides, all over. Now you could have used olive oil if you wanted, but veg oil will do. You could use butter. And what we're going to do is take our mix and put it in there, pack it down. So squash it in. We're going to get into the bottom because when it cooks we're trying to form a loaf. Now if it's not completely in there, it doesn't matter. We're going to take some of our pimento olives and we want to put some of those in there. Now I've sliced these and I've quartered some of these, and I've also left some whole in there, a bit more mix. In there, a bit more olives, because we are making an olive loaf. In there, a bit more mix. Don't forget, we've got to use it all up. Now I'm not the carefulest when it comes to things like this. I chuck it all in. I believe in we should be using the ingredients, so get it in there. And squash it in. So there we are, we've got this fantastic loaf tin full of our goodie, and that is high quality. Okay, this is going to go in the fridge. Now that is an optional step, however, you know, we've got some fantastic spices in there, we want everything to come in there, so I'm just going to cover this with cling wrap, just so it can sit in the fridge. Now you could put it in a bag if you wanted. I don't have a bag big enough. So there we are, cling wrapped up. That's going to go in the fridge until tomorrow, and then we're going to cook it. So that's going to get time for everything to cure in there, the spices are going to get in there, everything. Okay, there's our olive loaf. It's been in the fridge 24 hours. We just need to cook it. So let's have this off here. Oh, look at that. Smells amazing. Right, as I said yesterday when we make this, I like a bit of texture in mine. So this will have texture. What we need to do is stick the oven on. I'm using the air fryer, but any oven, 160, thereabouts. Get it on there. Now I'm also using a thermometer. You don't have to. It will cook for about 1.5 to 2 hours, and you want an internal temperature of about 72 degrees for it to be cooked. Now I'm going to use the thermometers that I normally use, which is ThermoPro, and we want to be setting this for 72. So it's dead easy, you just press up and down. I've set it for 72, and I've showed you before on the channel, but if you've never seen it before, obviously this is not a sponsored video or anything like that. All you do, stick the probe in, don't go right through to the bottom, we don't want to touch the tin obviously at the bottom, so just come in there like that. We're going to stick that in the oven. Now with this probe and this thermometer system, if I move that, you can see it's at 10 degrees. This is at 10 degrees. Now what you do, you shove that in the oven, and then you take your receiver and you go just put it anywhere you want. You go in the garden, whatever, and the receiver will bleep and make a sound and the light will flash. Then you know your meat has come to temperature. So you don't have to watch it for 1.5 hours, keep checking it, just leave it in there and rely on the thermometer. It's as easy as that. Okay, in we go. Nice and steady in there. Set our probe and our temperature there. It's working, it's flashing. Now we do know that it's going to take about an hour and a half. So we want to set the time for about an hour. Let it do its thing and then we will come back, and if we have to alter the time more, we will. Okay, that's job done. We can turn off the oven, and then what we need to do is get this out. Now what I will say, when you use these thermometers, this stainless steel braiding is red hot at that end, so you don't touch it. Fabulous. Take that out of there. So there you are, it's out. All we got to do now is we've got to let it rest a little. You can see the clear juices coming out of there where we took that needle out. So we're going to let it cool down, and we're going to take it out of there to let it cool down properly. Oh, look at this olive loaf. It's not completely cooled down, but we're going to have to come in here, aren't we? Let's just take that end off there. Oh, look at that. Now normally it would be cut on a machine, so we need to come in and cut it as small or as thin as we can. Oh, looky in there. Looky in there. That is a fantastic olive loaf made there. How do you eat yours? Mine's going on these crackers. Oh, look at that. Oh, come on. Oh, wow. Very moist, a slight hint of spices, not much. A huge hit from the olives. The olive flavour all the way through there. That is tremendous. Those pimento olives in there, fantastic flavour all the way through. That is incredible. That is really good. Obviously not quite smoothed out like a bologna that's been liquidized to death, because I don't like that. I like a bit of texture in, you know. I prefer the quality towards a meatloaf. This is fantastic. If you like what we're doing, don't forget, share with your friends. Tell everybody about it, you know. Fantastic olive loaf right there. Delicious. Big thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, ring that bell. Catch you in the next video.